Okay.
Like your magnet indicator?
Bro, why are you out here disclosing the magnet indicator? That's crazy. On the stream, just exposing it live.
Bro, you did more exposing of it yesterday than I did.
Yeah, well, look, once the magnet shows up, bro, I get a little excited. I kind of lose my head, so I don't know. I can't control it. He said it's the most guaranteed indicator of all time. He said, Common Bryce. Yep, you feel what I'm saying, Max? He's always trying to put me on the spot. I'm surprised Golly's not doing it today. What made you enter at 7:59? Yo, whose iPhone, by the way? Let me just make sure it's not an op. I'm about to just give my strategy to the ops. This is like Plankton from that show from SpongeBob. They want the recipe, people. All right. A few things that we're going to talk about on today's stream. Number one, what really is happening with the markets. There's a few reasons why markets are excited and still trending bullish. Obviously, we had okay, we'll go through those one by one. We're also going to talk about prop firm news. What is happening with the prop firms? Are they done? Are US clients still allowed on the firms? Are they coming back like they said they are? Or is this a permanent thing? We'll talk about that here in a second. And we'll also review the Tucker Carlson interviewing Vladimir Putin. So we're going to skip some of the politics stuff, might hit on some of it, but we're mostly going to focus on the economic impacts and their conversation around the US weaponizing the dollar and the effects on the world. The way that he made it sound is that the world is getting crushed because of the dollar denominated debt and just the way the system is set up. I think what he really means is him and four other countries are going through it. I get that. So we're gonna talk about some of the claims he made, whether they're true or not, and some of the things he said definitely have validity, but we're gonna talk about whether it's bad for the U.S. Okay. So first things first, what's happening with the markets? Actually, give me 1 second. Let me find this trade. I was watching this all last night. I caught some re-entries for longs at the extension, if I'm going to be honest. I think that this is going to be a sell all the way down for a pullback. The question is where? It's way too low to sell. So the way that I see entries is whenever you have kind of like a range. Obviously, this is the best entry price right here. And then this is going to be the previous area of structure. We're about we're about right at the halfway point. So the risk and reward is not going to make sense to take this trade to the bottom of the range and then get out because I'm going to have to be risking so much drawdown just to catch that trade. So it doesn't make sense. If we pull back up and keep rejecting like a double top, maybe at the market open, this could be a good place to enter shorts again. Okay, and if this is our new ceiling, so if we break these lows and come back to retest, this could be a great place to re-enter. Long story short, don't chase. Wait for the market to pull back, excuse me. So what I'm doing now is trying to find a price that the market could potentially come back to. So let me just write this down. It's 814. That's one of them. Go through it. And yeah, CA members, you guys saw exactly what I was talking about. Here's the pre-session consolidation from last night. I was expecting, okay, I was expecting that buy entry right here, and we might still get it. Like, to be honest, this could be setting up perfectly. So just to review those levels real quick. Last night I put this out. I said US 30 longs at 38,645. And then I said NASDAQ longs at 17,750. So let's look at the US 30 longs. I say 38,645. Oh, that's down here. That's the same exact price I just told you, Bryce. But now I'm seeing 38,700. We could break through it and come down to 650, but 650 to 700, I'm seeing potential longs. We just have to wait till the market open, wait for it to retrace all the way down. And then I think 38,650 all the way up to 700. So it's going to come down here, wick through first, and then come back up. So entries on the way back in, and then entries on the retest on the way back in. We'll keep an eye on this here. Alert is getting set.
I'll let you know too if it's getting close to that level.
My dude. I can rely on Bryce. You guys already know. You guys know what they say in the streets, in the Forex streets. They say Bryce is nice. They're making shirts. People standing outside with signs say Bryce is nice.
Come on now, bro.
So Max is already sending me the renders. Oh, Justin. All right. Justin, I'll explain this. I'll explain that trade probably either tonight or I'll just put it in the group chat if to answer your question for this specific trade. But it's on yesterday's recording, if I'm not mistaken. Like, bruh, just give us that. Just give us that. Come on. Like butter, you feel me? Like butter. It can't get easier. Or this thing just keeps flying and there's no pullback, and then we're just here watching it yet again. Another day. All right. You're gonna do a magnet masterclass. Oh my God. Oh my God, Chris. No, that's funny. I appreciate the efforts. These morning lives have helped me tremendously. Well, Hasib, Rahim, bro, appreciate you guys hopping on. You guys are investing in yourself. It's a lot of bullshit online today. I'm not even talking about just the Forex space. I'm just talking about the state of the internet right now. The state of the internet is a direct reflection of the state of people and the state of society. And let me tell you guys right now, right? I'm looking around these social media and shit's not looking good. And at first I was like, bro, social media has gone bonkers, right? This thing is just, it's gone way too far. People got to relax. And then I'm like, hold on. Social media is a direct reflection of what's happening with people. And so people are fucked up right now, right? So I don't know, like, hopefully you guys are finding this valuable and hopefully you guys are understanding the value of being around like-minded individuals, progress-minded, solution-oriented, like really full accountability. I'm not sitting here blaming the charts and blaming the markets and UJ hates me and all this dumb shit. We're really here trying to curate the right mindset. You miss a trade, okay, you can't get mad at a trade that you didn't take. It's like, oh, I didn't make money. Be like, oh, damn, like, did you take the trade and the broker kicked you out? He's like, no, I didn't enter. Like, how the fuck are you mad about a trade you didn't even take? Like, how does that even work? If you wanted to be in it, you should have taken the trade. That is the type of culture we're trying to curate here, is that full personal accountability on the charts. And yeah, I don't want to say a serious culture, because trading shouldn't be too serious. The second that trading gets too serious, you're overthinking it. You're putting way too much pressure on individual trades, and you're not really thinking big picture. So we're trying to be professional. We're trying to keep it productive. That's the word, productive. But also, it's the morning for a lot of you. Some of y'all are headed to work. We're about to make money. We're hanging out, right? The world is shit's already fucked up. We might as well have a little bit of fun, right? He said, "You're insane." I guess. How do we get these trades, bro? Sam, whoa, the trades.
Because there's nothing. There's no.
Yeah, well, you would have had to sign up for one of the master classes, and we just recently completed the last NAS100 masterclass. We're considering putting out the masterclass at some point as a course, but it's not going to be guided. It's not going to be like a Q&A interactive thing. It's just going to be like a recorded course, which is still very valuable. But that's going to be about it. Other than that, we're going to have a few other master classes before. We have one, I think, in late February or early March, and then we have another one late March. One of them is trading news. So how to analyze the news, how to find direction, how to build a plan, how to find a few entries, and then obviously the tips and tricks for trading news on Forex brokers with spread, commissions, fees, swaps, slippage, and of course the real dangers of trading news. Everyone's like, oh, I hope I can find the right trade. But you can find the best trade of your life. Watch what your broker does to your positions on news days. And so there is a trick to the trade. Um, if you're taking a challenge, how does that affect it? Like, are you allowed to trade news on the challenge, or are you going to breach it? If you do trade news on the challenge, are the conditions different than the live account? The answer is yes. Are they going to be different? And so you're going to have to really get it dialed in. So those are some things I'm looking forward to teaching. And then I think we're going to do it's not going to be Forex, but it's going to be like a trading beginners masterclass. Really getting set up from start to finish with understanding how to build a system, trading plan, how to understand market analysis, how to find trade opportunities, not a specific strategy, but really overall how to think of trading as a professional endeavor by setting up a clearly defined system, journaling and reflecting, and really doing things the right way. So hopefully we can get folks started off the right way and save everybody a year or two with being up and down. All right, everybody, what are your major setups that you consider A plus? You heard. That's all I'm going to say. Check gold. I got you. My major setups. Oof, that double bottom break retest of the fib in the direction of the trade. Come on now. Come on now. Max already got the Bryce is nice shirts embroidered. By the way, if you guys have been making money on these streams, first off, congratulations. You came up. All right. You won the ticket. Second thing, we're dropping the 88.6 boys collection. We're dropping the 88.6 boys collection here very, very soon. So if you're interested, make sure that you guys, well, we're going to be putting out the wait list in the next few days. So that make sure as soon as we put out that wait list to get on there, there's going to be a limited amount because the shirts are going to be high quality. We're not the ones making these. We're partnering with a company that's making really high-end, I don't want to say high-end shirts, but really quality shirts. And I was like, all right, this is going to be a perfect opportunity to partner this 88.6 boys and girls, because there's both collections. Concept is going to blow you guys' mind. So make sure you keep that on your radar. As soon as we launch that, it's going to be dope. So if you've been making money for free on these streams, 88.6 gang, if you took the master class and you see the value, this is your shot. It's your shot to rep the squad. You guys are repping Nike and all this stuff. What has Nike done for you? What has Nike done for you besides sell you sweatshop shoes? Oh my God. Oh no. Early in the morning, Roy, the sweatshop, those at night. Oh no. All right, my bad, y'all. I'm a little low on sleep, feeling great. Opportunities left and right. Um, yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Stay off these fucking internets. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I've been taking a little bit of a detox from the internet, and we're currently in the process of bringing on a social media manager, and that is marvelous. If you don't have to be on socials, get off. This is just the biggest piece of advice I'd give everybody today. Okay, let's talk about fundamentals. What is happening and why is NASDAQ still booming? Now, granted, pullback today does not mean we're going to reverse. This is strictly just a pullback for a continuation of the trend. I'm still very bullish on NASDAQ. Let's talk about three main reasons that stocks are still bullish. I'm going to let y'all see my face for this one. I'm going to let y'all see my face for this one. Watch this genius at work. This is not planned, by the way. I'm spitballing this. So I'm going to try to be as concise as possible. If I'm being redundant, let me know. But this is going to be very straightforward. Fed news. So Jerome Powell's press conference, he reiterated three important things that are bullish for stock market indices. So first, remember that the stock markets, and I want to separate both between like the Dow Jones and S&P and NASDAQ. They typically respond to the easing of central bank policy. And so when the Fed lowers rates, when they make money more available, when they're printing money, when they introduce money into the banking system, whenever there's a process of making money more available in the market, typically stocks react in a positive way. Now, the tech stocks specifically, because a few days ago we saw that US 30 and NASDAQ were moving in different directions, and people were asking me why. If I can touch on that real quick, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones are like the entire index is made up of primarily industrial stocks, financial stocks, and cyclical stocks or cyclical companies. Meaning cyclicals are things or companies that typically follow the overall business cycle. So in recessionary times, they still do well. In non-recessionary times, they're kind of flat. They're not really big performers, but you know they're going to be there for you. Now, these are household staples and things like that. But then you look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is technology sector stocks, and specifically, it's those top 10 names. We're talking about NVIDIA and Amazon, Apple, Google, Tesla, Microsoft, and the rest. And so when you're betting on NAS100, you're betting on long-term, speculative, high-risk, high-return investments. And so when you're hurting financially, you're not over there betting on meme coins and all this dumb shit. It's only when people got money in their pocket that you take on more risk, that you're willing to go, get yourself involved in activities that could get you a higher return, but also come with a much bigger risk. So the risk on sentiment that we're seeing in markets, across all markets, I'm seeing cryptos pop. The bond market is popping off. The stock market is doing well. But specifically, I feel like NASDAQ is overperforming the other indices, which shows us that the risk sentiment in the market expects the Fed to cut rates throughout the year. Markets are forward-looking by months. And what they're telling us is the bond market and the stock market are both telling us that they're expecting Jerome Powell to start lowering rates. Now, we looked at the CME FedWatch tool the other day, and we saw that the likelihood of a rate cut in March was 15%. Right now, this is what the market is betting on. So there's two reasons why the market is excited. Number one, if they see a recession coming, a recession that we don't see yet, if they see it, they're going to expect the Fed to print money when the recession hits, which is bullish for stocks. So they're like, okay, we see the brick wall that we're about to run into. Then we know as soon as we run into this brick wall, Jerome Powell is going to hit the emergency brake and we're going to fly over this thing. We're just going to fly right over the bridge. And so they're just betting on it in advance. The second reason would be that they actually expect conditions to be so good that Jerome Powell feels comfortable lowering rates, which I just don't see. I think the March meeting is out of the question. But the stock market is acting like there's going to be a rate cut in March. So it's a little bit confusing. I think that the market is getting ahead of itself, which typically happens a little bit late in the cycle. So I think that there's a correction coming in the next, I'll say, month or month and a half, like a big correction, just so we can healthily continue this bullish trend for the year. All right. So number one, Fed sentiment. They're going to cut rates. Money is in the system. People are excited. Institutional investors are excited. Passive investors, which are people who are paying out of their 401 or paying out of their check for 401k, people who have an automatic investment in like Robinhood or TD Ameritrade or something. The retail crowd's not that big of a player, but let's just say the passive investment funds, like the pension funds, mutual funds, 401ks, and all the rest, they've become net buyers all the way through. And so we're just going to keep seeing this flow unless there's a reason for the market to drop. Okay, so a war, recession, or something else. Other few reasons, bond market, that's a big one, more or less. I know I'm missing something. Oh, earnings reports. So we're talking about how the indices are obviously made up of a bunch of different names. Some of the largest stocks in the NASDAQ had earnings releases this week and last week. So Google, Apple, and Meta. And even though some economists are saying that they had a miss and that these weren't the numbers they were expecting, the numbers still look good. They're still trending in the right direction. So earnings releases generally came out pretty good. There's no emergencies there. We had a few employment reports and an early GDP release this month, or last month, excuse me. And those came out pretty good. Housing market's still stable. Like I said, the labor market is still stable. Gotcha. Yeah, so as of right now, economy is healthy. It's not healthy, but economy is in a stable place. And yeah, really, I just don't see any red flags here. So I would say bullish until anything changes. Max said just got the first sample and it looks amazing. Oh, let's go. US 30 is pushing to the first buy level. All right, let's take a look. Damn, I should have taken the short. The short would have been nice. but that R&R was just horrendous. It was 2 to 1 if it came back to that entry and if it heads all the way back down to 790. I say the trade looks a little bit more like this. So it's 1.4 to 1. And the entry would have been down here at the bodies. So it's like a 1 to 1. So that's why you can have a great trade idea, but if the risk and reward doesn't make sense, it's like the reason I like trades with a good R&R is because imagine I take the wrong entry. I enter early and I get kicked out. I want to be able to take the trade again and then be in profits. With 1 to 1 trades, if you lose this one and then you go for another trade like this, and then as it's dropping, you're taking partial profits, and then you close it, close to TP, or it just doesn't even make it to TP. You're not even making a 1 to 1. It's never going to make up for the losers, and you'll always be in this up and down break even game. So this is something that really changed my life, which is you can see a trade opportunity and really feel like, okay, I want to catch it, I want to catch the drop or whatever. That's my natural inclination. That's my instinct. But then the logical mind says, does this make any sense for my trading system? How is this going to affect my results? And a 1 to 1 risk trading against the trend, there's like every reason for me not to take the trade and then to wait for the longs. Okay. So thought process, instead of just looking for the profits, ask yourself, yes, but at what cost? Took the US 30 short from the top, risky but quick profits. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so US 30 is coming up to that first entry. Let me actually get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. By the way, put a 1 in the chat if you guys remember the US 30 trade from yesterday's stream, and then put a 2 in the chat if you guys remember the NASDAQ trade from yesterday's stream, because the US 30 trade absolutely went crazy. Do I have receipts for you? Of course I have receipts for you. Okay, this is what it looked like right when we got off the stream yesterday. So we actually did not take the entry on stream, but we had the entry marked off at 17,759. And I put up the recording and the photos from the stream to show you guys that it was called. Price made it all the way down to 17,759. Exactly. Well, few pips under. A few points under. And then beautiful rejection back up. And then this is the finale here. So it went all the way up to that TP. All the levels were called on the stream yesterday. So we go here. You guys will notice, oh, this is the live stream from today. Okay, you guys will notice that the entry was at 760 or 759. And the exit was, let me find one of these that shows us what the exit price was. Oh, right here. 870. Okay, 17,870. Keep that in mind. So entry was at 760. The exit was at 870. So the entry down here, that wick entry was at 760. That was the bottom of the market. And our take profit zone here at 17,870. That's where the market ended up reversing after the move was done. Isn't that incredible? That was called live. And matter of fact, I will find it. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is where I called it up. Oh, I did. You faking the pullback, and then tomorrow we might get the pullback before we bounce. So this is just, time to get on with work and time to. That was the pullback. It's that simple. And same with US 30. US 30 got called. It was in a little bit of drawdown, don't get me wrong, but it did end up playing out. All right, so all the levels were called in advance. Oh man, oh man. James, was it you that said the 3 drive? Because I'm seeing it now more than ever. That could mean all the way back down here to 17,730 before we pop back off. I don't even need this. I don't even use the EMA. I don't even know why I got this thing on here. I think somebody was asking me to pull it up. And I have nothing against EMAs. I'm just personally don't use it. But this divergence, though, we got the volume going down. We got price still going up. We're going to see this pullback. And it might be even deeper than this. I'm gonna have to look for a short entry real quick. This could get messy over here. Like I'm talking all the way back down to 730 and then potentially even break these lows. Like break the lows to come down. Like this could get pretty nasty here. I had a great 886 on gold this morning and it played out perfect. Already uploaded in the VIP chat. Good stuff, Ken. Awesome. Oh, US 30 just hit that entry, bro. The the best trades are the hardest ones, ain't it? It was now or never. Yeah, it's now or never for this. Like I don't know, because there's so much room to the downside. Oh, there's that wick. Okay, seeing a little bit of a rejection, little baby rejection here. Let's see if it holds. Nope. Yeah, we're still dropping. All right, let me know if it closes back above the support. Actually, I'll just add the alert right here. If it closes back above support, there's potential long opportunities right here. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. All right, I'm gonna take oh, that's a tough one too. There's a scalp opportunity right here to push back to the top of the range, and this is what I was looking at, but I'm gonna go low risk on this first trade. So instead of 0.25%, I'm gonna do half. Yeah, let me get rid of these. Should get pretty messy here. Hold on, I gotta enter this real quick. Actually, I'm gonna give this thing 1 sec. Give it 1 second here. Let's see if it pushes back into that support one more time. So meaning I would like to see this area here get broken first and then push back above. Because I feel like if we enter now, we're going to end up being caught in that liquidity before we move. And so just to avoid the drawdown and to avoid the early entry, just wait for that push through first. The swing position would be all the way back down here. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the FTMO situation. I'm going to talk about the prop firm, broker, meta quotes, whole debacle that's happening right now. So stick around. We're definitely going to go through all of that. 780. I don't think this thing's going to stop at any of the zones. This is going to get very messy here. This might just be like a scalp day kind of situation. All right, I'm scalping an entry right here for longs. This is going to be a short move just back to the top right here. So stop loss below this area. I'm looking for a push back up. Sorry, let me just enter this before I. So stops anywhere below 17,800. All right, I'm gonna wait for a wick up and then close partial profits and protect the trade because we are pretty high up. Let's be real. If we look at the overall range, the low of the range is all the way down here at the 17,700s. We're all the way up in the 800s. And so we're not exactly at a discount up here buying. The reason I said it's a scalp position, because we've already established support. This is a previous area of interest for me. And then we're retesting again for a double bottom. This is typically where we could see that push all the way back up to the high of the range. And then if it wants to crash, it can do it from up here. And if it wants to continue, it'll just break that zone. But it doesn't matter which one it does because we'll have an entry at a pretty good price. I just had a very quick scalp on the shorts and it went well. Good stuff, Ken. Ken, you're crushing it today. All right, let's talk meta quotes. How do we get into that chat? How can I join the Discord? Oof, that's a tough question because the Discord chat is exclusive. So you're gonna have to get either coaching or the masterclass. And the next masterclass, I believe, is late February. But if you guys register, then we can't really even give early access. You have to graduate first. You got to earn your way in. That's what I'm gonna tell you. You guys want to come play in the big leagues? You guys want to come play with the big kids? You're gonna have to earn your way in. All right, this is gonna be a dud, I think. I'm keeping an eye on it, but there are so many better levels here to the downside. Okay, so this is where my real, this is where I'm going to put serious size. And then we might just break right through the zone and go under first. And then that's where I have one more level that I've been watching this whole week that never got tapped. 17,660. Oh my God, hold on. If this thing lines up, if both 88.6s are lining up, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah, 17,660. I just tell y'all right now, that's 17,660. That could be the one. Okay, so light size on over here at this price, and it kind of looks like it's already breaking through. Give it a second to see if we bounce back above. My stop loss is set at 17,790. So it's only 15 points away, or depends on where you entered, but it's 15 to 25 points away depending on where you entered. Okay, so small size up here, and then we have bigger size down here at the discount. So we make it all the way back down to the weekly lows, 17,730. Got a pretty good opportunity right there. Yesterday's trade, we only ate about 10 points of drawdown before the trade moved. That's insane. What's also insane is not taking that short position. Did my stop loss just get hit? Nope. Missed it by 2 points. Yeah, not taking the short was a mistake this morning, but at the end of the day, trade with the trend, and the trend is still bullish. So that's why I'm looking for a pullback for longs. All right, meta quote situation. Actually, give me 1 sec. Let me finish adjusting my levels here. All right, what up, what up, what up? How do we get these set up? Okay. All right, so only like 5 people remember the trades from yesterday. Y'all, only 5 people remember this US 30 on the 4-hour that ended up smashing all TPs and going to the extensions. No one remembers this? Y'all got fucking dementia. Was this like the Biden speech from yesterday? Whoa, what is this? US 30 will push the new highs and reject. Always fake to one side and then push in the right direction. Yeah, for sure. Oh, there it is. There's your entry right here. I'm actually going to take a long position on U30 as well. This one's a little bit risky, but this is the best price right here before it starts moving. Could it go lower? Yeah, of course. Hold on, give me one sec. Did it already hit a TP? We hit the 78 and rejected. Huh. No, it's valid. Yeah, it's valid. All right, I'm in. Nasdaq is flirting with my SL right now. I'm more than flirting. This is sexual harassment, bro. I'm calling HR, bro. All right. My stop loss just hit, just as a heads up. So now I'm gonna wait for it to come back back inside the range. Okay, we have two levels to watch out for, two levels of interest. I marked those off yesterday, which would be 750, 17,750, which is a break back to this area right here. But more than likely, if we come back down to 750, we're going to come a little bit lower. And so in that case, yeah, it's 17,730, which is about 20 points lower. All right, that was a little messed up. Hit stop loss wick right back above, typical fashion. Alrighty. Just as a heads up for everybody trading today, that if you've been having success in the trend, buying it all the way up, and then there's a day like today where, we're obviously overdue for a retracement. We're very high overall in the markets, and we're still looking for longs. Keep in mind that risk management has to be your top priority, not catching the trade. A lot of the times and I find myself doing this too, especially during a lot of success in one direction. I'll still be trading buys, and then the market will be in a retracement, and I'll be giving back a lot of the money I just made. So keep in mind, markets do reverse. We are very high, or not reverse, but they retrace. We are very high compared to just, well, any other time in history, because we're at all-time highs. So context about where we're at. Don't go too heavy on these trades. You don't want to be on a Friday kind of, aping into these trades, as one of our friends here would like to say. I remember U30 was looking sexy, my bad. Got laptop on my passenger side. No, okay. Jeff, no, I know you know. Yeah, U30 was looking good, but now it's not looking too hot. It was given all the right signs. But patience pays. It's still early in the session. It's only 10 minutes after market open. I might re-enter NASDAQ if we close back above that support. I have to give it another shot. All right, yeah, Dow was moving pretty slow compared to NAS today, but trade idea makes sense. Make sure I mark these off. Nice rejection so far on U30. All right, y'all, I'm gonna have to hop off here in about 15 minutes. Go get some stuff done. So I'll be here for about 15 more minutes. Oof. Very tempted to re-enter NAS, but I'm going to give it another 20 minutes. If it is going to reject, it'll come back for one more pullback. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and then we'll cover the MetaQuote situation as soon as I get back. Don't go anywhere. We'll break down exactly what's happening with U.S. regulation. We'll talk about jurisdiction issues that some of the major firms are having. And of course, that I pick up the phone and call as many people as I knew in the industry that deal with prop firms, that own prop firms, that deal with technology providers, and try to get the inside scoop? The answer is yes. All right, stick around. I'll be back in just 2 minutes. And if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll get those covered. Also, drop a like, right? Because it's free. And I would appreciate it. It would make my day. So you guys get a free chance to just make someone's day for clicking a button. Isn't that crazy? You guys get somebody jumping out of their seat, happy as can be. You're a legend. You're literally a living legend for the day, just off of clicking a button. Right? That could be you right now. Wow. All right, I'm getting back in on NAS. Again, small position because it's a number one re-entry. So I've already taken it was a 0.1% loss. So I cut my 0.25% in half on that first trade. That's basically what I was betting. On this trade, I'm going to do the same. It's a little high. I need this thing to come back for a pullback. The entries back inside the range. These were the best entries right here. Obviously, some people would say, well, no, the wick was the best entry, but realistically, this had a confirmation associated with it. All right, because we've already had that break back above. So the best entry right now would be a pullback here and then a closure back above. That would be high probability and great entry and great risk and reward. All right, just had to go through that before I run to the bathroom because I feel like I'm going to come back to a mess on the charts. Okay, US 30 is not looking good. I might have to close this and reconsider once the market's done liquidating. All right, I'll be back in just a sec.
Yes.
All right, and we're back. Oh, yeah. What's the verdict? U30 still at break even. NAS popped off. Of course it did. Wile E. Coyote. Time for some new extension targets. Time for some new extension targets. We already hit most of them, haven't we? Here. Okay. Here. Nice. What a wick. I did not catch this, but I know a bunch of you guys did. I'm gonna wait for a pullback. I know it's just gonna come down and fill one more time a little bit. Just I don't know that. This is wishful thinking here. But we've come down to fill just a little bit more. Probably like 10 more. There's 10 points for a pullback, and then I'll re-enter that. Wow, of course. Wow. I enter US 30, that's the one that drops. Miss out on NAS, and that's the one that pops. Isn't that a damn shame? I know you guys know that feeling. Ouch. I'm gonna give US 30 a chance. And I'm gonna sit here and just pray. And just pray that NASDAQ comes back. All right, secured profits for the top on US 30 buys. Awesome. Good morning. Yep. Do you recommend using S&P 500 as a barometer for NAS? No, not even close. Would you say there's three drive pattern on the 4 hour for US 30? There's a lot on everywhere. All right. There was just a three drive pattern on NASDAQ too. Now this is a wedge of all wedges, bro. Do you see this? This is a channel, my friend. I'd say direction, structure, location. Direction is bullish, right? Structure is channel. Structure. I try to connect the dots here. Structure is channel, and location. Location right now, we're in the middle of the range between the top and the bottom. This would be the ideal buys. This would be the ideal sells. So direction, structure, location. It's looking rough. Damn it. I'm about to hop into this meeting with the fresh, my trade just hit stop loss face. Oh my God. Not the my trade ran to stop loss at the market open face. Not the I missed NASDAQ and it wicked up and I took US 30 and it bled. Not the face. Yeah, everybody, US 30 position just closed. That's a shame. And more than likely, it'll pop back up from here. But that was two. That was two, y'all. I'm done. Done for the day. Max said, don't give me more ideas. But I don't want no more ideas. All right. I don't want no more ideas. I want price to respect these levels. I want price to stop breaking through levels like it's butter. I want price to respect these high liquidity zones. Stop treating them like, if you guys watch UFC, you guys know how Alex Pereira, how he treats everybody like their children, just disrespects everybody, just makes it look easy. That's what NAS is doing to these. That's what US 30 is doing to these levels right now. All right. I'm not asking for anything radical. I just want US 30 to respect a few levels here. Right. So this is going to be the moment of truth. We got a buy zone down here at 38,600. Pretty easy to remember 38,600. So push inside and then a pop back up. If it breaks that level, just let it go. This thing's on a tear. Let the sellers have their fun, and then we'll come back next week and keep buying. 38,590. And then longs. I'm just going to target the body highs right here. Same risk. Similar risk. Okay. Price could hold support right here at 650. This is possible. So if it just wicks up and then closes back above this support at 690, which we might see during this session. Well, actually, I have to hop off in 7 minutes, but we might see it during New York session. Over here, look for a lower time frame break and retest, like for a higher floor. And then that could be a potential buy opportunity. I can see price either pushing up from here or from right here. I would bet on the lower one at this point. When in doubt, go to the lower one. All right, any re-entries on US or on NASDAQ? Nope. Awful. All right, I guess US 30 is it, but I've already taken my trades for the day, so now I got to walk away. And that's the worst part about losing, is that you have rules, and then when you lose a certain number of trades or a certain percentage risk or a certain amount of time spent on the charts, whatever your limit is to walk away, when you got those set rules, you got to follow them, especially when you don't feel like it, because that's when it counts. Even though you see the opportunity on the 1 minute chart, on the 5 minute chart. David said, patience, Roy. NAS will set up. I'm a hip guy. I'm just fucking around, man. Like, ideally, I do want to be in and out because you guys know at the end of the day, when you get to catch the 10 a.m. liquidity or the 9:30 liquidity, and then it runs for an hour and a half and then you're done for the day, there's nothing better. Win or lose, break even, partials, whatever it is, the trade is already done. I don't have to think about the 15 retests of the zone. I don't have to keep thinking about, you get what I'm saying? And so it's wishful thinking. I know that's not the way the markets work, but let me fucking dream, right? Let me. It's like saying, you want an easy day at your job or something. Like, fucking, I know how the world works. I know shit ain't sweet, but let me dream, right? Plus, I'm just trying to cope because obviously, look at Naz. Ruthless. Wow. Let's go back and check the receipts for the part, and we're going to talk about meta quotes in just 1 second, but let's go back to the stream and let's go back to the part where I was waiting for that trade. Bloomberg? Hold on. There it is. That double bottom before it left the station. Ouch. But like I said earlier, you can't be mad about a trade that you messed up on. I had a very tight stop loss. At the end of the day, like we are literally at all-time highs, and then as we speak, are about to make new all-time highs again. And so I wasn't trying to like I made the right choice at the end of the day. Because I make decisions mostly now from a let me see how to say this, from a perspective of risk management first, and then making money after. So yeah, I made the choice. Am I going to make money? No. Did I lose a significant amount or anything to even think about? No. So at the end of the day, I get to dust myself off and go about my day. And then come back and review and do the whole works. Do you recommend using S&P 500? What? And it hit stops and pop again. Yep. Why I shouldn't use the S&P 500 as a barometer for NAS? Like, what kind of sense does that make? They're both indices. They're both tracking stocks. What makes you think that S&P is going to move before NASDAQ? Or what makes you think that they're going to be like just here's the answer. Go online and check what stocks are in each, and just look at the top 10 names. Okay, so if those top 10 names are the same, then yeah, they got something in common. But I don't know what a financial company would have to do with the fact that Nvidia just took over the chip industry. It was completely different motivations for both of those indices. I would use Fed liquidity as a corollary for NAS100 movement. I would use, like, you can do the global liquidity index. You can do Fed balance sheet and correlate that with NASDAQ. That's a big one. That's the biggest one. Do Fed balance sheet and NASDAQ and look at it's over a 0.9 correlation. Blow your mind. That's why I always talk about fundamentals in such a simple way. And you'll have dickheads on social media like, oh, like this is not complicated enough. Right? Roy, you should make life more complicated for people who just want to fucking make money and feed their family. And then I just come out here and I say, no, never that. God damn. Excuse my French. Man, these pairs, bro, it's not even the pairs. I'm not gonna take blame away from myself, but damn. Missed a bunch of the good entries. It's all good. All right, y'all. I gotta hop off. The longer I stay here, the more I'm gonna want to just keep trading, and I really got shit to do. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Chart Addicts members, leave them in the chats. We're gonna continue the discussion in there, but I'm gonna try to take this, not take the trade, but I'm trying to line this up and see if it makes any sense at all from an R&R perspective. Here's the stops. So price closed above the 886 for 2 candles. 30-minute candle closed above the 886. So I would wait for the engulfing of the wick and then the retest of that same area right here. 37 or 38,695. So the only condition is it would have to break back above and fill this wick. Just break back. And then it'll come back to retest. The retest entry is going to be that one. This will kind of help you avoid getting caught in like another leg down if there is another leg of that bearish move, which I kind of have a feeling there is. This thing looks not good. All right. Any more questions? Okay. Meta quotes before we hop off. Obviously, we've been talking about this for a long time. In case you guys don't know, my roots originally are from the traditional finance industry. So I had a Series 66 and a Series 7 license. So I was a U.S. licensed broker dealer and an investment advisor. So I had the legal capacity to be able to recommend specific investments for my wealth management clients' portfolio and to be able to trade on their behalf on the open markets to buy mutual funds, stocks, bonds, and all the rest on their behalf for their account legally. And so there's a lot of legal stuff. You have to get the licenses. It's a ton of studying. It's a very, very tough exam. And when I entered this industry and I started to find out more about the back end, I quickly realized how much was broken. And these are the conversations I would have with a lot of the industry players, which is, look, guys, this is what FINRA and the SEC and the CFTC, this is what they're looking at. And if you're going to be involved in these businesses, you have to be very specific about what you're doing. The fact that people are not guaranteeing, yeah, they're guaranteeing results on trading strategies, or if you take this course, you're going to get a guaranteed this and guaranteed that. Past results do not equal future performance. That's one of the number one rules you learn when selling any financial product. And what I started to realize was there's holes in the game. Then on top of that, 6 months later, prop firms really started to take off. I was a fan, but it's gotten to the point where it's excessive. There's way too many unqualified companies out there. There's too many unqualified brokerages. And Metacodes probably got pressure from a lot of jurisdictions, specifically the US. Not even, they didn't even get a letter. They probably got an audit, which is like, let's see what kind of accounts y'all got behind here. Because, you guys have been getting a lot of business the last 2 years, and there ain't that many traders out there in the world. Where are all these traders coming from? And they realize that they have, US clients, accepting US clients to avoid regulatory scrutiny. And I think FTMO did it first because they are number one, if I'm gonna just be honest. And they're smart and they were proactive as opposed to being reactive, meaning they got ahead of the curve. They smelled blood in the water and they jumped ship quick. Okay. And so this is going to take another few months, but a month and a half ago, I talked to a bunch of prop firm owners. No one was panicking. When FTMO went under, everybody assured me, Roy, this is not a system. This is not a system-wide issue. This is firm specific. Okay, cool. The most recent round of calls I just did, people are a little bit worried. All right, there's kind of like this. There's this thing in the air. So if you guys are planning on buying a prop firm challenge, I'd probably hold off. If I'm going to be honest with you, I was not saying this last week. Last week I was saying get in quick because I thought we at least had 3, 4, 5 months before everything started to hit the fan. But it looks like we have 2 weeks before more and more firms start to get kicked to the get kicked to the side of the road. So if you're planning on buying a challenge, yeah, I don't even know what to tell you guys right this second because we're all kind of dealing with the same info. Now, Tucker Carlson interviewed Vladimir Putin. This is the last thing I'm going to say because it's very, very important. All jokes aside, all content stuff aside, whatever aside, this has real implications. The Western, just as exactly what Tucker Carlson said when he was questioned about doing the interview. He told them that Western media has been selectively biased towards one side of this war. There's a ton of media coverage about Zelensky and the plight of the Ukrainian people. The Americans don't know shit about Ukraine. I'm gonna let you guys know something. I'm a huge history buff. I watch documentaries for fun. I don't watch Netflix. I watch documentaries for fun. I don't know shit about the Ukraine besides the very basics. The Donbass used to belong to Russia, and some of the Russian-speaking people in Donetsk. I know the bare basics of that conflict. And so Tucker was like, well, how come nobody's asked Putin his opinion? Went out there and talked to him, and there was so many big revelations that as a people, we can take this and grow, or the people in charge are going to take this as like oh, he said, what about me on an interview? Oh, he thinks that he can just say this about America, and then they're going to play this dick measuring game. What the three biggest takeaways, I'm going to give you guys the political, because this has like World War III implications. I'm going to give you the strategic, which is how China and these other partnerships are playing together. And I'm going to give you guys the currency implications, how BRICS as an organization could potentially overtake the dollar. I'm going to give you guys a hint here. They won't. All right, let's go through it one by one. The World War III implications. So Tucker asked Putin if he has any, like, not ability, but if he has the willingness to accept a peace treaty. And Putin was like, yeah, we've wanted one since this war started. We tried to have one with 3 months into the war, and they were about to sign it. And then Prime Minister Boris Johnson from the UK convinced the Ukraine not to sign because it would not be in their best interest. Now, let's think about that for a second. What does Boris Johnson have to do with the Ukraine, and why did he stop the potential for a peace treaty? Can someone explain that to me? So that's the part where this thing could have been over in the first 3 months of the war, and they could have saved themselves 1.5 years of destruction. Half of the fighting age men in Ukraine are dead. Half of the working age males in Ukraine are dead. Who is going to rebuild that society? Who is going to hold that culture together? And so this has long-lasting implications. He said that they've been trying to get a peace treaty signed for a while, and that the West basically has been refusing. That's huge because, okay, before I say this, keep in mind, Putin was a KGB agent, which is one of the top intelligence services in the world. The guy has a very clear agenda. And then a lot of the stuff that he was saying, especially when it came to the economics, I found flaws in. And so here's a tip, is if someone is speaking and then you find a flaw in something that they're saying, or let's say that you're reading an article about something, and then you read about a topic that you're actually very knowledgeable in, and you realize that there's holes in this thing. You should start to realize that there's probably holes in all the other shit that's in that magazine too, or that's in that article too. So you read the medical stuff and you're like, well, I don't know shit about medicine, so these guys are probably just telling the truth. And then you listen to something that you actually know about and you're like, hold on, he's kind of bullshitting right here a little bit. He kind of just walked back a lot of the stuff he just said. And that allows you to see that, okay, so take what Putin said with a grain of salt. He said that a large portion of their trade, I think it was something that was not insignificant. It was something like 5 to 7% of their overall trade last year was in Chinese yuan. And then he said that they had a goal to get to $220 billion of unilateral or bilateral trade. And I think they smashed that. Okay. This is like a funny thing I just remembered. He said that it was 220 billion, but he said the Chinese number said it was 240. And it's an inside joke for my economy nerds out there because China's always beefing their numbers. And so they're working together and he's just like talking up his relationship. And he's still talking about how China has completely different numbers than them. But that's a lot of money to be trading bilaterally. Now, what are they trying to do is cut out the US. By the way, I know I said that the second trade was my last. I'm going to give it one more. I'm going to give this thing one more. Okay. Uh, Wait, we haven't broken above yet. What just happened? Okay, where is my alert? Let's go alert right here. Alert right here. If this thing breaks back above, I'm going to enter half a position on the break back above and then half a position on the retest. Well, that was quick. No, we didn't even break through. Here, add alert. Okay. So I want to be alerted when price breaks back through. Oh shit, it's 10:10. All right. Everybody, I gotta go. Long story short, Tucker Carlson is an absolute G. We need free speech. We need free press. You guys are not stupid enough to make your own decisions, despite what people are telling you. You're not too dumb to understand foreign policy, right? Countries want resources, countries want safety and security, and countries eventually want more power so that they can create more security and safety and prosperity for their people. Every country is playing that game. It's called the game of rational actors, which means that as long as everyone's a rational person, you can expect every country to act in their best interest. And so none of this is a surprise that Putin would want to take back the area and stop the fighting on the border with Ukraine that are, Russian speaking, and he wants to take that area. And he doesn't want NATO to be expanded to the east. It is no surprise that Ukraine does not want Russia bombing them. And so they're going to fight back. So you're not too stupid to understand this stuff. And that's why that interview with Tucker Carlson was so, like, we saw Hillary Clinton, who I haven't seen in a fucking year and a half, did a podcast or some kind of interview that no one knows what channel it was even on, right before the Tucker thing. Joe Biden has not done a press conference at 8 p.m. his entire presidency that late, ever. The guy's like half asleep at that time. And he went out there and they gave him like a 45-minute spitballed session and he butchered completely. They were trying to discredit what Tucker was doing, and they were trying to divert attention away from it. And the media outlets were all demonizing Tucker Carlson. And whenever somebody's trying to get you to not listen to somebody that badly, that's when you should fucking listen. That's when everybody's ears should go, okay, I get it. I'm probably not going to agree with anything this person says, but if you're trying to stop me from listening to him this badly, I got to know why. Now you got my fucking interest. All right, I'm not 7. I want the info. Are we in World War III? So shout out to Tucker being an American hero and just being a hero in general for free speech. I think that we genuinely need more free press to be able to actually know what's happening in the world and not keep falling for what I would consider propaganda, which is running rampant nowadays. So yeah, stay informed, stay sharp. US 30 is ugly, right? I'm not going to enter this thing unless I see the break and retest at this point. And I have a meeting in 3 minutes. So happy to see y'all. Drop a like on the way out, and then we'll get you guys more details. Join the email list on our website to get more info and then to get some info. He said you're breaking your rules. What rules am I breaking? He said, what's the best way to stop over trading a lot, especially when you lose 3 trades, but you see another opportunity? Dude, take it from me, right? Everyone's made this mistake, and I'll still fall into it sometimes, which is like, oh, this could be the one, whatever, whatever. Always think back to the days where you've destroyed your account or done some serious damage. And think about that feeling for a second. Really allow yourself to feel that feeling. Okay? Now, do you see how shitty that feels? That's what you got to be thinking about. Don't think about what would make you feel better right now. Because right now, your body is telling you, make up for that loser, right? Make up for the losing trade that you just took. Like, get back to whole. you got to tell yourself, yeah, but what if it doesn't? What if I end up right back where, like that one time where I kept trading and I blew my account? I don't want to end up there at all costs. That's why I'm walking away. Not because I don't see opportunity, not because I can't make my money back, but because I know what this road can lead to and I know what the downsides of this road are. And that's not a road I want to go down today. So that's how you can stop over trading. All right. All right, learn how to spell breaking before you come and talk to me. All right. And fucking, sit up straight if you're gonna type to me like that. You guys understand? You guys out there typing mad confident over there, slouched over your laptop like that. Get it together. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Happy safe trading. Peace.